This is the 3-star only top 5% team for Hall of Trials, though of course if you have any of the upgrades to these slots you might as well use them. Just make sure you have at least one light or dark hero in the team so we can get all of these bonuses. Our healer slot will be using Doris, but besides Doris there's Rowana and Kiris, who also work super well here. Rowana has a better job keeping everybody else alive, and Kiris also is pretty good with her AoE healing. Just keep in mind her S2 cooldown decrease doesn't work. And then there is Suthan, who is our other burn unit. You could also use Robin or Arminta, of course, in this slot if you have them. Just make sure you have one ML hero if you're swapping anybody out here. And we've also got Carrot plus Kiris to round out our team. So now let's take a look at their stats. For Doris, we've got Touch of Rekos here as our artifact for the sustain. You could also use Celestine. For her stats, 124 speed is the speed tuning I'm using. The rest of your stats are going into bulk, and if you can, 100% crit chance. This isn't mandatory technically, it just makes it a bit more consistent, because if you're not 100% when you hit the ad, sometimes you get the CR push, sometimes you won't. You'll have to know how to actually play the fight in order to deal with that. Next up is Suthan. For Suthan, we're going to need Yellow Violin. This is the only way he can strip, and it's 80%, but he does get 2 turns in the barrier phase before we detonate, so it's a 96% chance to strip at least once. His stats though, 150 speed with 100% crit chance, and the rest of the stats into attack, but you do want to give him a bit of bulk probably. If you find yourself needing more bulk, then just give him more bulk. Next up is Carrot. For Carrot, pretty much same thing as Suthan, 100% crit chance, bit of bulk however much you need, rest of it into attack, and I've got her at 160 speed. For Artifact, I'm running Cruel Mischief. This is just for the attack boost. Lastly is Kiris, and I kind of just didn't re-gear her from when I was using her earlier, but I gave her Warhorn for the attack boost onto Suthan and Carrot because Kiris' stats don't really matter. I would say just give her a bunch of def. You don't need this crit chance at all. You could just give her some defense, main necklace, and like fix her speed or whatever. 160 speed, just to note, is actually the exact same as what I have on Carrot, so we will have to check their starting CRs and just make sure the right one is going first. That is it for everyone's stats, and now we can take a look at a run. For the starting CRs, just make sure Kiris is ahead of Carrot. As long as that's happening, you're going to be fine. The rest of the RNG doesn't really matter. We're mainly going to be spamming S1s, but our sustain is not fantastic, so we will be healing with Doris, especially because I did not bother making my Suthan very tanky. We also got the lucky defense buff proc there. You're gonna die if it doesn't proc, but we can just use S2 later, which we'll do on our next turn. Heal up Suthan for now, and then back to spamming S1s. Exactly to 60%. And also now we have to strip this. We're using Violin, but even if it doesn't proc there, you can see Suthan's lapping around, so get another chance to proc it. We'll strip off here. And then, if you were trying to min-max this, you wouldn't use S1 here, you'd like hit the ad or have S3 up or something, but we're not bothering with that, it's just because this blind chance does lower your damage a little bit. We don't need the S3 either. This S1, even if you don't land the burn, this single burn here, if you extend it one turn with Kiris S2, just one 2-turn burn from Carrot would be enough to break this barrier. S3 into Suthan so we can skip this hit. Now we can just hit this ad 3 times. And then I'm also going to keep on hitting this ad. It's pretty much just to give Suthan a little bit more time to get his skills back up. We're forced to hit Harsetti here, no choice. Let's see if we land a burn. Didn't get it, unfortunate. But we'll reveal the stealth with S3. Two. Then we could S3, S2, but we're going to wait a little bit on that. And then here, if I hit this ad, Carrot is going to be forced to detonate, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to hit Harsetti, hopefully land a burn. So we got at least one of our S1 burns. Here you can just heal anybody. We'll hit this guy here. Use Kiris to extend the debuffs. And we're actually going to hit this guy one more time. This is just because Suthan can use S3 here. We can land some more burns. And now we can Kiris S1 to detonate. And then from here, we'll see if we do anything. This 12, almost 13 million is already good enough for top 5% probably, and you at least have SSS. It's bare minimum good for top 10%, that's for sure, but top 5% was also pretty low last rotation. We'll see how far we get though. So here our healing skills are back up. And how do we want to play this is the question. I think I'm actually going to angle to try and kill off Doris instead. So we can do that by doing this.
난 이런 걸 꽤 좋아해.
그동안의 성과를 보여드리죠. 당신에 대한 분석은 모두 끝냈습니다.
Our second strip. Okay, our carrot died, but whatever. That's good enough for the top 5% at least. We're just gonna let her kill us here. If your carrot was a little bit bulkier, we would have survived. Anyways, that's it for the 3-star only top 5% team. Just pretty much it's just Kiris, Carrot, and another burn unit with any healer as long as you have one ML hero. You could really reuse the one from last rotation, like I mentioned, and just put Doris in the front and you would be okay.